Okay, this is my lesson on the curriculum view of a unit plan on European explorers. The philosophical orientation. So the first question was, what philosophical traditions does the curriculum represent? And I believe that this unit plan represents Jewish philosophies in this unit plan. Based on the information I found in Parker 2015, it said, considering such sentiments, it is not surprising that many scholars have mistakenly described Dewey as a social reconstructionist. Dewey did believe that the school should assist in the reconstruction of society, but his view of this process differed significantly from Counts's. Rather than indoctrinating students with a particular theory of social welfare, Dewey believed the school should participate in a general intellectualization of society by inculcating a method of intelligence. So this unit plan that I chose aligns with Dewey's theory because it is simply designed to provide students with information through different modalities. While the lesson does not utilize many different ways of presentation, such as PowerPoint, group activities, research, and oral presentation, the students are not given the opportunity to participate in deeper thinking, which is a characteristic of other theories such as Counts's. So the next question, is the curriculum grounded in mainstream or diverse value? Based on the chapter written by Awe in Parker 2015, it says culturally responsive instruction resides firmly within a pluralist vision of society which recognizes that the cultures of different ethnic groups provide content worthy of inclusion in the curriculum. Culturally responsive instruction aims at school success for students of diverse cultural and linguistic background, acknowledging that a disproportionate number of these students typically experience failure in school. To close the achievement gap between students of diverse backgrounds and their mainstream peers, we use culturally responsive instruction, teaching that allows students to succeed academically by building on background knowledge and experiences gained in the home and community. I believe that this unit plan is grounded in mainstream values. There is no evidence of cultural diversity. Based on what I found in Parker, it said that different cultures should be evident in lessons presented to students to create value in other cultures. And this unit plan only presented students with information the teacher gave them and did not allow for synthesizing of sources. So it was definitely rooted in mainstream views of how social studies should be taught. The first lesson taught on the European explorers was simply a PowerPoint with a graphic organizer. This did not provide students with any opportunities to come to their own conclusions, using analytical skills to determine information. The teacher just presented information to the students and asked them to learn the facts. While a later lesson gave the students the opportunity to research and explore and present their findings, the books were chosen for the students to use for the activity. Again, that allowed for little analysis of information. Alright, what conclusions did I draw about the political aims of the curriculum? The aim of this unit plan was to give students factual information regarding European explorers. It is based on facts given to the teacher through a textbook, and the teacher has not included any opportunities to synthesize their learning. The teacher does give students multiple facets of ways to learn the information, but the goal of the unit is to regurgitate facts given to the students to learn. This unit plan does provide students with opportunities to learn new information, but it does not prepare them to draw their own conclusions about information given to them, which is a skill that a good democratic citizen possesses. Nonetheless, the NCSS position statement admonishes teachers to provide K-5 students with opportunities to engage in perspective taking from multiple angles and to explore controversial issues as they practice decision-making, problem-solving, and critical thinking skills, according to Baumel 2016. Students should be given the opportunity to view multiple perspectives of an event, and this unit plan does not provide students with those opportunities. Lessons that are meaningful, integrative, value-based, challenging, and active will be ineffective unless the tasks meet students where they are cognitively, emotionally, socially, and physically. In other words, developmentally appropriate practice is at the heart of excellent teaching and is another conceptual tool framing this study, according to Baumel 2016. How does the curriculum meet and or fall short of the indicators for authentic intellectual work? And according to John Say and Associates in the Parker 2015 text, it says that strong AIW instruction does not require that teachers meet all authentic intellectual work criteria at a higher level in every lesson. Rather, the goal is to make all dimensions of authentic pedagogy prominent features of one's ongoing practice. So, according to Parker, every lesson should have an opportunity for students to work at a high level. The unit plan that I chose does not meet that criteria. The lessons are surface level at best and do not require any higher level thinking from students. Parker says higher order thinking occurs when students combine facts and ideas in order to synthesize, generalize, explain, hypothesize, or arrive at some conclusion or interpretation. And all of the lessons provided in the unit plan have predetermined responses and generally are right-wrong responses, excluding the biography. Students need to be provided with activities that require them to use these higher level skills. How does the curriculum meet and or fall short of the National Council for the Social Studies indicators? So, according to the NCSS, there are 5 dimensions that should be used to develop social studies lessons. First, social studies should be meaningful. That will require students to be able to find interest in the lessons and make connections between the information presented and their own lives. The unit plan did not provide any opportunities for students to achieve this dimension. All information was given to them and there was little time to discuss or relate it to their lives. Second, powerful social studies teaching is integrative. That means it should be cross-curricular and include other disciplines besides social studies. This unit plan did require students to utilize English language arts skills when completing the biography. To successfully complete that assignment, students would have to be able to read and comprehend information as well as summarize the information given to them. Next, social studies instruction is explicitly and implicitly value-based. The core values make up the third characteristic of exemplary social studies teaching in the elementary classroom. These would include values such as democracy, equity, diversity, and justice. And the fourth and fifth elements of powerful social studies teaching articulated by NCSS concern making social studies challenging and interactive. These dimensions require teachers to move beyond the surface level lessons and ask students hard questions, interpret sources, ask questions, and think critically. This will inevitably lead them to become actively engaged. These lessons should be both minds-on and hands-on, and the NCSS website offers many options to teachers to help them achieve this in their social studies classroom. This unit plan, however, did not give students the opportunity to work in groups. It did give students the opportunity to work in groups to trace the explorer's routes. While this activity could be fun, it does not evoke any challenging thoughts. None of the other lessons in the unit come close to being perceived as challenging. While challenging may make teachers think a lesson is too hard, it just means that students need to be challenged to think outside of their own preconceived notions. They need to ask questions and not simply take information given to them without analyzing it first. What are the strengths and weaknesses of the curriculum? While some of the lessons do provide opportunities for students to have fun, few of the lessons provided them to go any deeper than a surface level of learning. The unit plan does do a good job of providing different modalities of learning so students have the opportunity to learn in many different ways. There are no instances where students are required to use critical thinking or higher level skills, which is definitely a weakness of the curriculum. what adaptations would maximize its strengths and address its limitations. This lesson plan needs opportunities for students to be able to relate their lives to the information being presented. So simply beginning the lesson with a question like, have you ever moved to a new city, or have you ever visited a new city, would allow students to begin to connect to the lessons being presented. The unit plan also needs opportunities for students to raise questions to the information being given to them. I also think students need some freedom to choose the resources they use when writing the biography, which would also be a good time to incorporate digital citizenship lessons. These lessons also lead up to the foundation of our country because of these explorers. It is important for students to become democratic citizens, which is one of the main goals of the social studies classroom. And they need to be able to interpret the information given to them by the news or other resources.